steal the Helio. Why? So you could just lock me up? No. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
In the hell do you think you are?
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, let's
No, please,
Let's have it.
You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it, okay?
So Oz, last week we talked about how iconic or not iconic certain superheroes are, and in particular where black superheroes fall in that category. As an example, I'll use the Trinity in the DC universe. So, we said that there weren't any black superheroes who are as iconic as that. So can you tell me, are there any black iconic superheroes in comics?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, yes, there are in both the Marvel and DC universe, but they are minor characters. Everyone knows, who's Sam Wilson? I don't know who that guy is, but who's Captain America's best friend? Oh, you mean Falcon? Oh, yeah, that guy.
Right.
Hey, who is Tony Stark's best friend? Well, War Machine. And by the way, Tony Stark said, "Hey, man, you're my best friend. I'll give you one of my lesser suits, but here it's still powerful. All good. It's fine." And then you go DC, and then you go, "Oh, hey, so Hal Jordan, you got a buddy, right? Yeah, we'll make him a Green Lantern too." And then you go, "Okay, you know what? Cyborg. Everybody knows Cyborg. You know him from Teen Titans and Justice League, but he was the last to join for both groups. So it's just, yeah, we could do better."
I'm with you on that. And RVs, in your opinion, are there, white or black, are there any characters as iconic as a Batman or a Superman?
I don't think there's anyone as iconic as Batman and Superman. They're on a different level than any other comic.
Yeah, I totally agree. As far as iconic black superheroes, and we kind of touched on this last week. I think Black Panther has entered that iconic sort of stratosphere. He's not at that level, like V said. He's not at that Batman Superman level. But I think as far as a black iconic character, especially today, I think he's right there. To me, I think he's right there.
No. I think there's a lot of potential for him, but still, they, if you really get down to it, they still waver and like kind of like are a little shaky with him. Sometimes he's this like amazing, Jason Bourne, all powerful type dude, and then sometimes he's like, oh, well, should we make him a female Black Panther, or should we make him white? I still feel like they're trying to feel him out, but as movie acclaim comes and has come, I think that Black Panther will start to get his due. There are a lot of characters that are going to start to get their due, I think.
Well, let's hope so. But before we get too deep into that, allow me to set the table. This is Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC. I am your host, Scott. aka Regular Scott. I am here with my co-host Ozzy, now known as Ozzy Killmonger. Ozzy, say what's up.
What up? What up?
And my other host V's. V's, say what's up.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, so I want all of you to know I was pointing at my right and my left as I was introducing them, even though they're not beside me. What do you guys think about that?
Got it.
All right. So before we get back into our topic, let's get into the news a little bit. Well, actually, before we get into the news, I always do a couple Twitter polls, and I've had a couple up. You can always follow us and check our Twitter at @NE4 Marvel vs. DC, and that is the number 4. We keep up with the news and we put polls up and all that. And one of the things we talked about in one of the earlier episodes in the Arrowverse was which fight scene was better, Daredevil hallway scene in season 1 or anything in Arrow season 4. I've gone over the results with V's. Oz, who do you think won?
Man, obviously, if you went over the results with V's, the Green Arrow people were like in full force. But I would just say, before you give the results, I believe you're going to say Green Arrow. And if it is Green Arrow, it's just that my Daredevil people haven't really got on to the Twitterverse yet.
V's, do you have an opinion before I give the results, even though you know the answer?
I already know the results.
Yeah.
I think they're a little skewed, a little biased.
Oh, come on! All right.
I can't wait to hear this. Please,
the results are in a 2-1. By the way, I won't give the number, but I will say it was a 2-1. Daredevil won that poll.
Boom, shalak lock, boom.
But to my surprise, Arrow got 2 votes. Like, I'm surprised that season got 2 votes. So maybe I need to go back and rewatch it.
Hey, I want to throw something out there to V's real quick.
It was season 4 that should have been on the poll.
No, that was on the poll.
Hey, V's, I want to throw something out there to you real quick. Who do you think will win in the battle between Green Arrow and Daredevil? And they're both healthy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Green Arrow, Daredevil.
That's a good one.
Hey, can I just? I want to throw 2 things out there real quick, and then I'm gonna hush my mouth. But here it goes. 2 scenarios. One scenario, they both know that each other is coming for each other, and the other scenario, they bump into each other and they got a battle.
Oh, this is great. This is awesome. This is great.
Hey, yo, Scott, throw it out there to all
Hey, yeah. Hey, you guys tell us as well. Daredevil versus Oliver Queen, okay? Both at full strength. They know each other's coming. They bump into each other. They can use any of their weapons they want. Let us know at the Twitter at @NE4 Marvel vs. DC. That is number 4. Again, at @NE4 Marvel vs. DC. V's, who you got?
I gotta go with Oliver Queen.
Woo! Wow! Tell me why.
Oliver's experience on that island, I think that's what sets him apart from Daredevil.
Okay.
Even though Daredevil has that handicap, being blind, but his senses are enhanced and all. But man, I think Oliver Queen takes it.
All right, so let me ask you this, V's. No weapons, just hand-to-hand combat. Who wins?
Oh, no weapons, hand-to-hand combat. Daredevil destroys Oliver Queen.
Okay. No. I was just wondering.
Yeah, but we got weapons.
No. You're right. No. I'm with you. I think Oliver Queen will win too. Oz, back at you. Who you got?
For sure, dude. Matt Murdock would just wipe the floor with Oliver with no weapons. But I got to really, if I'm really thinking about this, man, I'm envisioning that battle right now in my head, both scenarios, and man, I'm seeing Oliver throwing arrows at Daredevil, Daredevil doing his stuff, radar sense, blocking arrows, fatigue starts happening. Oliver has the distance. If he gets one arrow at him, that's just like nipping at Daredevil, nipping, you know?
Yeah, it's a wrap.
So like with no weapons, I mean, Daredevil is just like, would just be masterful. But what they got, I think eventually, and if we're saying that Oliver's got all of his arrows, I got Green Arrow on that, dude.
It looks like we're all in agreement on that. But look, let me tell both of y'all something. I agree with you that Daredevil would win hand to hand, but y'all talking like Oliver Queen is not going to be in there holding his own.
No. I mean,
my man can throw.
He's definitely going to hold his own, but Daredevil's just on another level with that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
dude.
You're
I mean, Oliver is he's gonna come in, take some punches, rebound, throw some punches, but overall, man, this cat Daredevil was trained by Stick, dude.
Daredevil could take a hit,
multiple
man.
People with the hand.
He could take a hit.
Yeah.
No, that was great. That was great. I like that. That might have to become a permanent segment on the show. That was good. All right. Some news while we're in the Arrowverse. There has been a photo of a black suited Superman showing up in the Elseworld crossover. And apparently this Superman is the bad guy. Potentially.
They got it. Of course. Well, yeah, I'm sure they're going to do it. They're going to have everybody be like, you know.
V's, what do you think about that as an Arrowverse guy?
Oh, I think it'll be great. I love the bad superheroes, like Superman turning bad. Because really, if he turned bad, who could even stop him?
Well, hey, look,
Batman?
I agree with you, but unfortunately, they've already had Supergirl beat Superman for some odd reason in a one-on-one battle. Even though you should be right, like that should be the storyline, that who can beat Superman.
Well, look, dude, can I chime in on that little part for the nerds?
Go ahead.
I include myself in that always. So, you know, the reason why they do that for some silly reason is because they always say that even though they always emphasize, man, that Clark was born, like was raised basically from a baby to adulthood, absorbing sun, you know, absorbing that yellow sun, making him super strong. But then for some reason, they always say that Kara, like, you know, Supergirl, she is like in Earth, like when she's angry, she's stronger. You know, I have my own little crazy theory behind that, but you know, that's why they always say that if she gets angry enough, she'll beat Clark, you know.
Well, you heard it first from the comic connoisseur himself. So that's a little knowledge for y'all.
Yeah, man. And I got my theories. So if y'all want to know, if you want to know the theories, hit us up. Okay?
Hey, hit the Twitter. A couple other things. Let me ask you guys. Are you ready for a little leaked Infinity War trailer spoilers?
Oh, please.
V's, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Yeah.
All right. This is potential spoilers. It doesn't mean these are confirmed, okay? I'm going to go ahead and tell the audience, V's, Oz probably already knows, V's knows, I talk to him about it all the time. I love a good fan theory. Like I love a fan theory, any of that. So anytime I hear some type of rumor or something, I'm probably going to report on it, and half the time it's not going to be true. But the thought of it is a lot of fun. You know what I mean? All right. So I just wrote down some key things, and I'm going to go over them real quick, and then I'm going to get you guys' thoughts. M'Baku, or M'Baku, whatever his name is from Black Panther, is on the throne of Wakanda. Tony Stark gives Steve Rogers a new shield. Thor is shown asking Captain Marvel for help, and Captain Marvel looking like she's saying no. Nebula and Tony Stark arrive looking like partners at S.H.I.E.L.D. Thanos has an infinity sword. And apparently there's going to be a bigger villain than Thanos in the movie.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The rumor is Galactus. Oz, can you tell me a little bit about Galactus?
So, if we're gonna, we can stick. We'll traverse through the comics and we'll traverse through the movie. If we do the movie, Fantastic Four 2, horrible Galactus. Galactus was
Oh
just
yeah, that
like
was terrible.
the only thing they got right about Galactus was the color of his helmet, um, which was not even a helmet. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
wasn't a helmet.
Yeah. So Galactus from comics for comics is basically this entity that has been around since the beginning of time, and I think he was actually before this universe began. His whole existence is he's always they used to say he's always hungry, so he feeds on planets. And then canon changed to where he only devours planets that are the seeds of like celestials, because celestials in their heart are not beings. And so he is like one of the sole like supreme beings, like, in the vein of eternity, all these like ultra deities that is like there to like kind of balance the scales of the universe and stuff. He's got heralds, you would know some of his heralds from being like the Silver Surfer, fire. I think Firestorm was one too. Terrax guys, I think that's right. And they even had they even took one of the human girlfriends and made her one of his heralds for a little hot second. But yeah, so that's like basically the gist of Galactus, man. And so
Very well
we'll
done.
see how this plays.
Hey,
We'll see how
that
this
was very well done. Definitely a round of applause for that one.
plays. And I don't hear any applauses, but the round of applause in my head is going on. It's fine.
Don't worry, I'll put some in post edit. Um,
Yeah.
Hey, V's, let me ask you, how do you feel about M'Baku on the throne of Wakanda? Potentially.
Ooh, potentially. Remind me which one M'Baku was?
He was the one that was kind of like the ape, the bear one. That was
Bees. He was
He was in the mountains.
yeah, the guy
I
from the
know.
mountains.
He was
Yep.
the leader of the mountain ape.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I just can't remember his name. I think that would be awesome because I love that character.
No, he's great.
I thought,
he's great.
yeah, I get excited about that because I thought, to me, I don't know. I enjoy that character. I think he's awesome.
No, I'm with you 100%. I think it'd be awesome, and I think it'd be a nice little twist to see what's going to happen when Black Panther comes back. I mean, Black Panther's coming back, so I think that'll be cool to see. How things are going to go. How's he going to react to Steve Rogers and Tony Stark with him on the throne instead of T'Challa? You know what I mean? They have no history except for this brief battle.
Right, but there are some important points to if this is, I know this is fan theory, but there's still some important points to point out, man. In the Black Panther movie, remember that cat was offered the heart-shaped herb, and he could have taken it and be like, cool, I deserve to have this anyway because y'all fools don't know what you're doing. He instead said, come with me. T'Challa's still alive. So that speaks to his character. He was already the ruler of those guys. So him being on the throne of Wakanda, people forget at the Black Panther, he was already on the council. So it's
That's
not
a
like he
good
took
point.
over.
That's a good point.
Let's not think that he took over everybody. Let's remember.
Yeah, I would think he would just bow down and give it back to T'Challa. So
yeah, and also let's remember that he
Do
probably.
y'all think he would give it back? Do y'all think he would give it back?
Yeah.
I don't know if T'Challa would ask for it back.
Well,
I think the character matured throughout the movie version of it.
Mm-hmm.
He matured enough that he would give it back.
So, but let's also think about this. Black Panther 2 could be that struggle.
I was hoping Black Panther 2 was going to have Shuri become Black Panther.
We you know what, we do not know what maybe T'Challa's like, you know what, you deserve the throne, I'm gonna go on a sojourning, because in the comics he gave up the throne to like become the embodiment of Black Panther, like knowing all the knowledge of all the old Black Panthers and everything.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be a
Yeah,
cool
so
little.
he became like basically the wise counsel, and then but let's see, man. There's more to see, more to see.
Very true. Very true. Any other thoughts on any of the leaked footage potentially? These are just some of the
Le-
things. I'm sure there's some things I missed, but I don't want to give away
So
too much.
well, but here we go, man. If they do Galactus, then are they going to put some heralds in there or stuff? Because like this is crazy.
Well,
Is it going to be a 4 hour long movie?
if you're gonna do that, I mean, I'm thinking, how do you do all this and you still haven't introduced like an Adam Warlock? Or like, who do we have that's on that level? Are they about to see? This is what I'm talking about. They're about to put Captain Marvel on that type of level, and
Well,
she
yeah,
doesn't need to be. Like, no Avenger needs to be on that level. You know what I
look,
mean?
dude.
Like, none of them need to be.
You
like
run
that.
that's why you run the risk of it being this overpowered, crazy thing.
That's the point of
But
the team up, because they're not strong enough on their own. They need to be a team.
yeah, but if you really think about the comics, at one point you had Captain Marvel, Thor, the Hulk, a straight up like
A
ultimate
comic Hulk too.
armored,
The comic Hulk
yeah,
too.
a ultimate armored like Iron Man. It was like, and then you had like Hawkeye, Black Widow, and Captain America. What is that in the face of that? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's
It's
fair. That's fair. That's fair. No, you're
well, no,
right. You're right.
it's like going. Oh, I have a superhero group. There are like 3 9-year-olds, and the rest are like 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's like they're overpowered. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they end up doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, and we all got to see what happens out of the Captain Marvel movie anyway.
Can I just say this?
Go ahead.
You guys were way too excited just now. But I loved it. I loved it. I sitting back listening, and I was like, man, these guys right here, man, come on.
Hey, let me tell you, I am excited about the movie and the trailer. Like, I think like these big movies and stuff, they put out some really good trailers. Like, the trailers get you so excited. You know what I mean?
And by the
You
way,
guys went full nerd mode on us.
hey, V's. And by the way, I'm trying to contain myself. By the way.
Yeah, he's ready to burst.
I know how I see you in a real stock gift.
Yeah, that's exactly where it comes from. No question. No question about that. I only got a couple more things in news. Jared Leto is going to play Morbius in the next Venom Spider-Verse movie.
What?
Morbius is getting his own movie.
Look, man. I mean, okay. Look, Jared. I know you're upset that you got replaced by Joaquin for the Joker, but they trying to put this dude still in comics. Okay.
Oh, I guess the bigger question is why. What are we doing making a Morbius movie?
It is like, hey, let's just do. The next movie we've ever heard is going to be an Aunt May movie. Okay.
Well,
So
yeah, it's funny you mentioned that there was an Aunt May movie. Actually, that was almost put into script. And you know what Aunt May was? She was a secret agent.
Well, of course.
And a lot of people remember the villains from the Spider-Man cartoon. Like, I'm sure you do. V's, you remember some of the villains from the Spider-Man cartoon, right?
Yeah, a lot of the Spider-Man cartoons. I remember most of them.
Well, but I'm saying, like, but I can tell you Morbius isn't one of them you remember, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. No. Yeah, I don't know who Morbius is.
Like, that's my point. Like, what are we doing making this movie? Like, I was more on board with the Black Cat movie, and Silver Sable. At least we can go somewhere with that. With the Morbius, like, you can only take this so many places.
I mean, if the movie's going to be 15 minutes long, that's going to be great. But other than that, why?
He should be if he was going to be like introduced in a movie, like if he would have been in the Venom movie and something would have happened to him, and then we got the Morbius out of it, I think we're talking a whole different ball game. but you're going to try to tie this movie into the Venomverse or whatever the Venom Spideyverse, whatever that box is.
Right. I know. No. I'm in full agreement. It's just ridiculous. It's just like, you know, like once again, how understanding comics and then trying to just make some money off some stuff.
Well,
they were like, wait, comics and vampires? This sounds great.
you know, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be good. I like Jared
Vampires
Leto.
was.
Oh, go ahead, V.
Go ahead. I was gonna say Vampires was hot about 5-6 years ago.
Right.
I think it's died down now.
No, absolutely. But Jared Leto's a good actor. I said it. I think it was the last show or the show before. I thought his Joker was good. I know a lot of people aren't in agreement with that, but I liked his Joker. I think he's a good actor. He goes head first into his role, so I think he'll be good. I don't think the movie will be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And speaking of good Jokers, I know this is totally off subject, but Cameron, the guy who plays the fake Joker in Gotham,
yeah,
he's the man. He is the man.
You know,
Incredible. He's an incredible actor.
I've heard that from a few different sources that that his Joker is starting to be mentioned among some of the better Jokers.
Yeah, and they don't call him Joker because obviously
it's like a mantle, right? On Gotham.
Yep, right. Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, I'm sorry.
No, hey,
No,
you know
no,
what?
that's
Yeah,
awesome,
that's
man.
cool, V's. I like that. I mean, it was what we were talking about. So,
Yep.
So while we're on the Joker, real quick before we go into our
Cameron Monaghan is
Yeah.
his name. Monaghan or whatever.
So
Yeah.
before we go into our topic, real quick, besides Heath Ledger, who is the best Joker?
Oh.
Both of you.
I just told you who my favorite Joker was.
Oh, so that's your favorite. You like him better than Jack Nicholson too?
Oh yeah, by far. Yeah, I like Jack Nicholson, but this kid,
Okay.
I mean, he's got the goods.
All right. What about Mark Hamill from the animated series?
Yeah, he's like
Because he might be my pick.
I'm not familiar with.
Oh, okay. Well, I grew up watching the cartoon, so he's kind of like my Joker, and Heath Ledger was the closest thing to that mannerism, voice, and stuff. So that he might be my
Well,
pick.
hey, especially the Batman Beyond one.
Yeah, that was good.
You know,
that was
just great.
Yeah, that was real good. That was real good. So, what about you, Oz?
I want to do a little more research on this cat that V's like, you know, but I'll say
No, he's
yeah,
good. He's good. He is good. He's real good.
I agree. Like Heath Ledger, I know we can't say it because you know we left him off, but he's the ultimate dude.
No doubt.
Jack Nicholson, fine, but Heath was awesome. It was good.
So you're just copping out.
Yeah, Mark Hamill was great. You know, those two. I'm not Jared Leto. No.
So you didn't like
No.
Jared Leto's at all?
No.
Really? Like at all?
That wasn't the Joker, man. That was Scarface and makeup.
So you think he would have been a better like Two-Face?
Well,
Black Mask.
I like that idea. He would have been a much better Black Mask or maybe possible Two-Face, but for the Joker, no, man. The Joker with fronts and grills, no, dude, no. He was trying to be this 21st crazy Joker when the Joker is he's the dude who will get into your head when you don't know he's in your head. You know?
That's very fair. Very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. V's, what did you think about Jared Leto's Joker?
Honestly, I can't remember which one that was.
Look, that tells me everything. That means he was not that impressive to you. If you can't,
man.
if you can't remember him, like that means he did not leave an impression.
Yeah, Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
They left
those are this guy y'all talking about. I can't remember him.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, right. He was just useless. Useless. He was like, I mean, just terrible. It was just terrible.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for the news docket. Unless y'all fellas got something you want to get off your chest.
I'm good, man. Press on, son.
V's, you got anything you want to say?
Nah, I'm good. Let's press on.
All right, here we go. We go into the topic. So we talked about it a little bit earlier, and I said that where we left off kind of was I was saying that I think Black Panther is starting to get to that echelon. And, Oz kind of had a point that a lot of the black characters we have, though they may be iconic, they're iconic in their sidekick role. Like, per se, Sam Wilson. Like you said, he's known as Falcon, but Sam Wilson was Captain America in the comics for a good bit.
Yeah.
He led the Avengers for a good bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people still know him as Falcon. I think they even put him back as Falcon in the comics.
They did, but cool. Guess what?
Let me ask y'all this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, V's. Go ahead. You got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think they make the African American black guys the sidekick? And why do you think we are
in the
really
movies
good enough to play a sidekick? In the movies and why do you think it took so long for there to be a Black Panther movie?
Oh, I'll tell you why, man. I mean, of course, these are all opinions and everything, but to me, it's just that it's fear of actually representing a black male character as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't want to. It's kind of like America today. They don't want to see a black in that leader dominant role. I mean, everyone thinks that the world has evolved so much, but we're still fighting similar situations that we were fighting in the Civil Rights era, and it goes all the way to the comic books. That
Absolutely.
They could be sidekicks, they can be great at whatever they do at being a sidekick, but they can't be that dominant male person.
Absolutely. And I want to throw this out too. We talk about, you said earlier that Falcon became Captain America and even led the Avengers. Cool, but he was number 3. There was the Winter Soldier who became Captain America.
Right.
So he was number 3 in the row, and we forget that there was a black Captain America back in the day, but then they said he got too sick and was mentally feeble and everything.
Oh,
yeah, man. Dude. It is because you could call it PE, fear of a black planet, but it just it feels comics are a reflection of our society.
Yep.
And our movies too. You basically can say, but it is getting better, but the progress of getting better feels very slow.
In my opinion, I think that the reason it took so long to get a Black Panther is because I don't think they wanted a black character to dominate money financially or just personality wise the way Black Panther did. You know what I mean? Like that's why
I don't understand why.
That's why we don't have like these black characters, because when Blade came out, Blade took over. Like Blade was everywhere. Blade was the number 1 movie. It made tons of money. And it's the same
video
thing.
Games.
Yeah, video games, like all that. And I think there's a reason for that. And it goes back to what I said. Like this is all in the same bubble. We're all saying the same thing, just at a different angle coming at it. You know what I mean? Like we're all saying the same thing. There's a reason that we weren't given another opportunity, because it's not because they don't make money. Hancock wasn't a great movie. It was okay. It wasn't a great movie, but it made money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like we can't sell.
Right. And they know we can sell because Denzel sells, Samuel L. sells.
Tyler Perry sells $30 million opening weekend just off his name.
but that's because and Tyler Perry had to make his own name because nobody would give him a chance.
No, absolutely. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not knocking him either. I'm saying that's great.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%, 100%.
Well, and also the last point on this, I want to just throw out there. Well, my last point on this, I should say.
I'm gonna piggyback off of this. So
I also want to just like remind folks too that remember, like we always go to the movies and support sci-fi stuff. That us black folk, right? And so when we heard that, hey, y'all remember, Sam Wilson's going to be in the new Captain America. Everybody went and saw that Captain America extra hard. Hey, I think Black Panther's going to be in that Avengers, man. Everybody went hard and saw that Avengers, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just we're never given the chance. But then when we get the chance, we overshine. So then people go, oh, wait, put the shine back.
If Spider-Man wasn't so charming, Black Panther would have stole the show in Civil War.
Well, I still think Black Panther stole the show.
Spider-Man was that dude in Civil War. To me.
Well, I'll tell you, when we heard that they had both of them in there, it was awesome. But
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It was awesome. It was awesome.
That
was awesome. I think it's one of those things where every time we get an opportunity, we knock it out the park, man. I mean, look at, I know this isn't a comic book movie and we kind of going off comics a little bit, but look at a movie like Get Out. You know what I mean? Like every time we get a real opportunity, we knock it out the park. Like it doesn't matter the genre or what. It's just all about being given the opportunity. Like I told you about that Girls Trip movie. My wife and I saw. She's made me see it 3 times. I wanted to see it one of them. I'll admit that. But and it's got like Tiffany Haddish and Jada Pinkett Smith and all them. And it's just a black female comedy, and it's raunchy and it's raw, and it's it's not what you would expect from a typical black comedy. You know what I mean? It's got some intelligence to it. Like when we're given an opportunity to really show our chops, to really let loose, to just let us do our thing the way we want, we knock it out the park. And I'm not saying we don't miss, because everybody misses. But
can I go ahead.
No, please go ahead, V's.
No, I'm still on this Black Panther thing. I'm sorry.
No, do you think?
You said he was in Civil War, right?
Yeah.
How come I don't remember him in Civil War?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I'll tell you why you remember him. You remember the fight scene between him and Winter Soldier and Captain America. You remember I bet you remember when the bomb exploded and he was holding his father.
Yeah. Come on, V's.
No, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Civil War.
Oh man,
I don't remember.
Hey, you absolutely do, and you can let us know what you think next week.
Yeah, I'll go back and watch.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna enjoy that. It's great. It's a great rewatch. It's very rewatchable. I watched
it. I've seen it, but I just don't remember. I don't know.
Well, and I'm not. And to Oz's point, I'm not saying that Black Panther doesn't do his thing. He more than does his thing in the movie. Like, there's a reason they gave him a movie, and his movie did well. Like, he does his thing. He's a very good T'Challa, and I thought his dad was great too. Yeah. T'Chaka. I thought T'Chaka was great too. So, while we're in the Marvelverse, let me ask you guys, both of you. I'll start with Oz. Chris Evans has said multiple times that, when his contract ends, which is going to be Avengers Infinity War, the next part, or Avengers 4, he has said that he is going to leave the Marvelverse. We don't know if that's for good or for, how long. Do you think we will see Sam Wilson become the next Captain America? Or will it be Winter Soldier? I'll go ahead and throw my opinion out there. I know you guys always say I don't throw my opinion out there. So I think Sam Wilson is going to become our next Captain America. I think it's good. I think you're going to have like a buddy cop thing with him and Winter Soldier. He won't carry his own movie. That's where I think it'll be different. I think it'll be him and Winter Soldier, which I think is cool. Like, I think that's kind of the way they need to start going, because you're running out of ways to do origin stories. But I think Sam Wilson is going to be our next Captain America.
I will say, for as of right now, yes, I agree.
V's, what do you think?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
if you had to throw a guess out there, what do you think? Or do you think there will be no next Captain America?
No, the next Captain America. See, I just don't know why. Though I don't want to say something. Why Winter Soldier? I don't know if Sam Wilson would be. I don't know.
I
don't know
agree.
why.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I feel like that. You know?
Right. That's fair. Yeah. Is it? Do you feel like that from Sam Wilson? Because in all these movies, he's never really been given that spotlight, like to where he gets to go and take out like 6 dudes by himself and then go handle the boss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just had to dominate.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's fair. I agree with that. I can't argue with that. That's a fair point. Because let me tell you something. In Captain America Winter Soldier, when he was in that elevator and took out 20 dudes with one hand, that's when I was like, yeah this dude's a problem and nobody's messing with him.
Hey, so we should probably get to our topics then, sir.
Well, we are in our topics.
Well, I thought because I don't want to spoil it. I thought we were going to get to the best fight scene.
We're going to get to that. We're going to do that right before our final blow. Okay.
Okay, because all I want to say is that might be one of them.
Hey, I think we might need to get to the fight scenes now because I think that's going to be a long topic.
All right. Well, let me.
I'm in full agreement with you.
All
sir.
right. Let me wrap up let me wrap this up with this question. Okay. This will be for all 3 of us.
Yes, sir.
You know how DC has their Trinity: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Who is the Black Trinity of comics? Or and for V's, I'll throw it at you like this: the Black Trinity of live action, DC, Marvel, and Oz in the comics. Who's the Trinity in the Black Trinity? Who would you say is your Trinities?
Well, see, there's not really for the comics in Marvel at least. There wasn't really.
No. It could be just comics. Just comics.
Oh, I know, but this I want to just throw out Marvel real quick.
Okay.
They had for a short-lived time. It's called the Crew, and it was like basically, seriously, no joke. It was like Black Panther. Yeah.
Don't say Luke Cage.
No, look, dude, it was Black Panther, Luke Cage, Misty Knight, Falcon.
All the black characters.
Look, it was Blue Marvel.
Come on, dude.
And Black Captain Marvel.
Hey, that's hilarious.
who they made change her name to something, but she used to be there was a Captain Marvel who was just like who was a sister who controlled all spectrums of light basically.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, there was some really good, and she was an Avenger too, by the way.
So who's your Trinity out of that?
Well, wow, the Trinity, man. Here, I'll give Trinity. The Trinity for Marvel is going to be this. I'm not being sexist. Sorry to all our female listeners.
No. This can be all. This is DC and Marvel combined.
That's fine, but the Holy Trinity is going to be this.
Okay.
Black Panther, Luke Cage, Falcon.
Okay.
Those are the 3 oldest ones.
Fair enough. Okay, V's. Oz, I'm gonna come back to your list because I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
V's, who you got in your Trinity live action?
Black? No, I have no idea. I don't have an answer for this question.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I can't even think of live action 3 Black Trinity.
Well, I'll give you 3 as just a template. How about that? And you can kind of work off of that.
Well, you got the Iron Man sidekick.
Yeah.
Rhodey. Storm. Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I mean, you could use that. Blade could be in there if you wanted.
Yeah. I like it. I'm here.
You could still use Falcon.
Oh, DC and Marvel combined. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Or do you want? Oh, it just.
Yep, just combine. You could throw Cyborg in there.
So Blade.
Okay.
All right, Blade, and then let's go Black Panther.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Blade and Black Panther. Blade dominated his movie. Black Panther dominated his movie. And then
Hit y'all with a tough
I
one.
gotta
didn't
go.
it?
I go with Iron Man sidekick,
Rhodey.
just because he's a great actor.
Don
War
Cheadle.
Machine, Don Cheadle,
Don Cheadle. There you go.
Okay.
James Rhodey.
All right. Cool.
Um,
My Trinity is mine's a little bit of mix. Black Panther, Storm, and because he was the first black superhero that really appealed to me, Blade.
okay.
And I say Storm because Storm's been in the game for a minute, and a lot of young black girls, like when I do basketball camps, and I always talk about comics and stuff when I do my camps. I always like to interact and talk about stuff. And I'm like a big kid, so it's easy for me. So we talk about who they like, and a lot of the black young girls, they like Storm. Well, now they like
That's
Shuri.
cool.
Now they like Shuri because she's newer, but Storm was a big influence on them. So her and Black Panther are married in the comics. She's like second in command in the X-Men. Even when Wolverine's there, she's still the leader.
Well,
Actually,
I was going to say Storm has been in a plethora of movies in general too.
yeah.
Storm, make no doubt, Storm is the leader of the X-Men, though.
No, when Cyclops is not there.
No. But they've had battles before when Cyclops in comics. This is canon.
Okay.
They have had battles before. Classic battle: Cyclops versus Storm. Storm kicked Cyclops' ass.
Hey, look, but everybody does that to Cyclops. Like we acting like that's a big deal.
Yeah, they had to give that dude the Phoenix Force. I was like, man, you don't know what to do with this character anymore, do you? So.
All right. That's part 2 of we're going to wrap that up, of Black Superhero Sci-Fi. Now it's time to get to the showdown. And listen, for this segment, we want your opinion. Let us know what you guys think. What is the best fight scene? We're going to give you our opinion. We won't be long, or we'll try not to be. Me and V's won't be. Ozzy's going to talk the rest of the podcast off. But no, I'm just playing us. But let us know at Me for Marvel vs. DC. Okay, so who wants to go first? I call second.
Hey,
I got it.
Okay, V's. I'm
state
excited.
State your question. Let me go first.
I got it. His question is the best fight scenes of all time.
Copy that.
Now, if you guys don't, you cannot agree. You can disagree. But Kill Bill, when she's fighting the Crazy Eights,
the Crazy 88.
The Crazy 88.
Crazy 88 is nasty. And then when she fights, I guess that's in the second one, when she fights that dude and she jumps across the table and she cuts his head off and his head's like is bobbling on the floor.
Okay, now look, you can't pick both. You got to pick one.
Oh, crazy. Oh, God, that's tough. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, no. You know what? No. You know what?
So many great fight scenes. I mean, John Wick, the home invasion.
I know. Hey, look, that's why I gave you a full week to do your research on.
Bees, hey, keep on talking. I'm with you on everything you're speaking, brother.
I gotta go with Kill. I mean, I love that John Wick. I love John Wick. One and 2.
So Kill Bill.
Hey,
I love it when they that house. Oh man.
So
I gotta go.
Bees.
Crazy 88s.
Okay.
Bees. John Wick's The Home Invasion was top notch, right?
Top notch.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, and then John Wick's 2, basically every John Wick's 2.
Yeah, everything John Wick.
What about that club fight scene? Remember when he was in that club?
Oh, and John Wick 1, the club scene was just phenomenal, dude. Dude, this guy.
Number 2 with him and Common was really good too. When him and Common fought, they had good chemistry. Common's a good little actor.
Hey. And one, homeboy, the bouncer said, he said, why don't you take the night off? The bouncer said, Mr. Wick. Come on, man.
Okay, so, and then this is my old school, as a kid, best fight scene just that I can remember that popped in my head as soon as I thought about the question is Jean-Claude Van Damme
Uh-oh.
in Bloodsport when he's at the end of the movie when he's fighting the big Asian guy. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Bro. Okay, so he's fighting him, right? The guy throws he crushes a pill and throws it in Jean-Claude Van Damme's eye, right? So Jean-Claude is blind. So he throws the referee at him, and the character feels the cloth of the referee, and he's like, "Get out of my way!" And he just goes to work on his ass. Oh man, that was pretty good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, V's did a little work on that. Hey, that was well done, V's. That was well. That's a tough act to follow.
Okay.
Oz, what you got?
You may have second, sir.
All right.
Why I was trying to break the thunder.
All right. So,
Hey, dude,
hey, all right. So I've had, there was a few that were going through my mind. I went old school a little bit. I was thinking about, maybe the first Matrix, when they're taking that last trip through everything and they're just blowing away everything, and then him and Agent Smith have their final showdown. That's a pretty good fight.
that's a great fight.
That's a great fight. But is it top notch like we talking? And you know what? And then you said something last week, guys. I went and looked at, I rewatched Old Boy just so I could have that fight scene. That's a good movie, by the way. And that's a great fight scene. But
Is it Old?
Yeah, Old Boy.
Hey, B's Old Boy, and there's two versions. One version, the American version has Josh Brolin in it, but there's a Japanese version. It's beautiful, dude. You'll never look at a hammer.
It's
again
really good.
the same way.
But I'm gonna stick to my guns, and I'm not gonna flip flop. I'm gonna stick to what I said. I think the raid hallway scene is the best fight scene of all time.
That's cool.
I'm confident in that scene. And there was the only scene that was really in my head. Well, two that were competing with it was Marcus's Crazy 88 scene, because
Absolutely.
that's a nasty scene.
Choreographed.
And you know what?
Well,
To my memory, I don't think has been since or before that a scene with a female, mainstream, by the way, because I'm sure there wasn't a Japanese one or something like that.
Go ahead,
but
go ahead.
mainstream.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. They had one.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. That kills the whole thing. Good point, V's.
Right.
But what I was going to say was there wasn't something as bloody or as violent.
Scott,
Yeah.
Let me kindly interrupt you and remind you about Atomic Blonde, please.
Atomic Blonde doesn't match up to Kill Bill.
But you, as you said, a female.
No, you're right. You're right, Oz. A female who does her thing. You're right. That's a good point. That's fair.
That stairwell scene in Atomic Blonde.
Yes,
Get
was
out of here,
nasty.
man.
No. I'm
Get
not
out of
saying
here.
it wasn't good, but it wasn't Crazy 88 good.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
But that was the scene, and then that Avengers Infinity War scene is probably
the fight. No, that's Winter Soldier.
No, well, that's what I was going to say. That Avengers Infinity War scene is probably the most epic, but the best fight is the hand-to-hand in Winter Soldier between Winter Soldier and Captain America when they're shuffling that knife in the street. That's an incredible fight scene.
I thought you were going to say the one-arm fight scene.
The one-arm fight scene?
Yeah, when he only had one arm.
So you're talking about Civil War.
Yeah, so...
No, I like hand-to-hand stuff. But the raid, I'm going to go ahead and say the raid is my top scene all time. Go ahead, Oz. What are you going to say?
All right. Okay. These, I appreciate your always insight. Scott, always amazing insight. Now, let's just get down to real quick. Now,
you better blow
we're going
me
to get
away.
down to some comics from Marvel Comics, man. To me, that elevator scene with Captain America, where he notices the sweat coming down off the face.
That is a great scene.
And he says, look, let's get to it.
No. That's not what he says. He said...
that's what he meant, but go ahead.
He said, does anyone want it... Before we start, does anyone want to get off?
Dude.
Come on, man. That's awesome.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying that's just really super amazing good stuff.
That's a
And
good one.
then we for just basic scenes, the most craziest fight scene to me recently, and I mean crazy, was it Eastern Promises? I think it might have been. But there is a bath shower room scene where this dude is in a steam bath fighting these guys. He is naked. They are trying to kill him. There are knives. There's every sort of weapon. It gets crazy.
You know,
That was one of the most brutal fight scenes I've ever seen in my life. That on the most brutal fight scenes I've ever seen on the screen in a while. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. Put your comments in. That's up there for me. I got one. I got the Crazy 88. The Crazy 88 is always a really spectacular, amazing one. But I'm gonna have to stick with for right now. Oh! And we always forget the CGI was not that great, but we forget about when Neo had to fight all the Smiths.
yeah, that was good in the park.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That was out of control, man.
Yeah, that was a lot.
We forget about that one, dude. Set it off for everybody,
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, dude. And then you know what? There were some really good. There's some things that stick in my head about that movie Hannah, too.
Oh yeah, hey, that's not a bad man. I forgot all about that.
Hannah, and then we slipped, dude, because don't give him his prop. But you can find every single one of his movies. You'll find a fight scene to remember.
Quentin Tarantino.
In all the Bourne movies, dude, in all the Jason Bourne movies, there's always a fight scene to remember.
Oh, Jason Bourne, yeah, that's true.
Another fight scene that I love from my childhood is the Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris fight scene from Way of the Dragon.
Yeah,
I thought that was nasty too. Bruce Lee did some hella fight scenes, man.
Well, Bruce Lee versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That was good
nuts.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's
and that's one that's not mentioned as a top fight scene, but
you know what's an underrated it's not in the top conversation, but an underrated, really good over the top brawl. And I know you're probably gonna laugh when I say it, but it's over the top in a really well done way. Was Vin Diesel versus The Rock in Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
That was a really good fight. I know it was over the top and all that.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's really good. And then, even Jason Statham has. Actually, Jason Statham versus Jet Li in War. They had some great fight scenes.
That was yeah.
Those are great. Jet Li's great.
Jet Li's great. Jet Li was good in Roman Almost Die.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. DMX.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say some transporter stuff too.
Transporter fight scenes were pretty good too.
They were good, but I feel like he did some better ones than Transporter.
Okay, yeah.
Just to me. Any other big fight scenes that stand out to you?
Dude, there are some little snippets of good fight scenes in The Art of War, Wesley Snipes.
You all about this Art of War.
That was good, and there's good fight scenes. If we're going you could go those types of movies like the 300 or Gladiator.
Yeah.
There were some good fight scenes, and not top fight scenes, but
all right.
Battle.
So let me
when they're going up the mountain.
Let me put you on the spot. Let me put both of you on the spot right here, and I'm putting myself on the spot because this is not a planned question. What is the best one-on-one fight?
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me shift gears a little bit. We've been because a lot of our fights have been epic.
One-on-one fight.
I'm sorry.
I already told you. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was go ahead.
I went to someone else.
I want to throw out there this one-on-one fights. That fight. I think it was the last movie where they're fighting. I think they're fighting in a tunnel, and dude, Jason Bourne is stabbed or shot, and that dude goes for where he's wounded, and you hear Jason born scream, and that scream he lets out. You know he's a tough dude, but that scream he lets out. You know what he does? I think he grabs his wound in his abdomen, and that scream he lets out makes you go, "Oh my God!" You know, like that. Like this is the worst pain this dude felt. I felt that scene. I felt that scene, man. That's all I'm gonna throw out there.
All right, V's, back to you.
Mine was this is just off of memory and childhood that left a lasting impression was that last fight scene in Bloodsport.
Oh, okay. Yeah. True that. That's cool. That's cool. What? Go ahead, Oz.
No, I was gonna say, what about yourself?
Ah, man.
See?
Well, I mean, I got some, but I just don't know which one of them I like the best. Like the Neo. If we go on just straight 1-on-1, the Neo and Agent Smith fight scene in the park. I mean, that's technically a 1-on-1 fight, right?
That's true. It is.
I mean, that's technically a 1-on-1 fight. So since they're all clones of him and they all come out of him and go back into him.
No, we're not doing that. No.
Okay, all right. No,
let's go mano a mano, not manos. You know,
mano a mano, 1-on-1. No.
Right.
All right. Then I would probably have to go with. Are we restricting this to just movies?
Nope. Hey, anything. Yeah, movies, dude.
Just movies. Man. I guess if I'm put on the spot, I'm going with the final scene in The Raid. No. I'm sorry. The Raid 2, when he fights the blind girl in the train.
What? Why do you like that? Why do you like that?
Actually, you know what? It's not even 1-on-1. It's 1-on-2. So I'm sorry. I cheated. I'm copping out. It's a 1-on-2 fight, but he beats. And the girl's blind, and the other guy, he can't hear or something. So they like work off each other's senses, and they fight like back to back, and the dude has to like the way he has to try and separate them so he can get them to fight individually. And then he ends up killing the sister first, and it angers the dude, and he just starts going off. It's just a great and brutal fight scene. And I like fight scenes that have some emotional and some like storyline with it. And I love when a dude has to fight when he's tired, and the actor can pull off being tired and fighting, and not looking like he just got a burst of energy.
That I think me and V's like that, but once again, you have not answered the question.
I said it. That one.
That's not a 1-on-1 fight.
All right, 1-on-1 fight: Captain America versus Winter Soldier.
Okay, there you go.
I challenge y'all to go. I know you probably. I don't know, Scott, if you've seen it, but the Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme versus
That's the one where he pulls out his throat, right?
Watch that fight scene.
Which one is the one where he pulls out his throat? You sure that's not Bloodsport?
No, I don't remember him pulling out Bolo's throat.
I think he pulls out his trachea.
Well, I'm gonna go research that when we for that.
I don't remember that. Remember that's like one of my favorite fight scenes.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I got you questioning.
We have Google. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Continue on talking. I'm gonna look it up.
Hey, so to me, what makes a great fight scene is more than just kind of the action you see. It's what led to the fight scene. You know, what hasn't, like when somebody's hurt in their fighting, like that makes an impact on the fight scene. Like you feel an emotional kind of tie to them. It's kind of how they do in like wrestling. You know, when they
absolutely.
You know, when they go and they attack somebody before the match, so that way you're like, oh man, that's not fair. They cheated. Now you got to get them back. You know, and then when they start coming back and they start winning, you're like, yeah, and then they take it off from you. I love when a bad guy ends up winning when you think the good guy's about to win.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good.
But and I think now. I think some of the fight scenes we've been getting, like you guys have been saying, like there's so many to name, and especially in the last few years, like when you were saying with Atomic Blonde, like those are great fight scenes. John Wick, great fight scenes. 300. Even the Batman warehouse scene in Superman versus Batman is a great fight scene.
I don't mind that one at all. Actually,
That's a great fight scene. I'm like great fight scene. I will go out on a limb and say that's the best Batman. That's the best Batman fight scene ever.
I don't know about that.
I'd be curious.
Batman versus Bane was both Batman versus Bane battles were great.
They were good. I like my Arkham Knight though.
So in Bloodsport, the final scene, he hits Bolo with like 3 roundhouse. Frank Dukes is known for like having the fastest roundhouse kick back then, and so Jean-Claude Van Damme hits him like 2 times with that roundhouse kick. Bolo goes down to the ground and he makes him he like the ultimate humiliation of a fight. He makes him basically say uncle. He was like, say it. And then, he eventually said it like,
So no trachea.
No trachea. No. I didn't think, I was like, no. But yeah.
Well, I need to find out what movie Jean-Claude Van Damme takes the guy's trachea.
There was a trachea one, but I think that was like maybe like Bloodsport 2 or something crazy.
Okay.
Oh, and it might have been earlier in the movie too, because I remember that the black guy that was from Africa that jumped around like a monkey. I remember something happened devastating too, but I can't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, I feel like he.
But I know Bolo killed a couple of people in that, or maybe 1 or 2 people in that movie.
But that was good. All right. So, any other big fight scenes come to mind before we move on?
There's so many more, but those are the ones I got.
You heard me, Scott? Nothing Batista.
Nothing Batista.
Nothing Batista.
No. He's done some fight scenes, but they've been horrible.
Actually, his fight scene in James Bond was pretty good.
I'm thinking of the one where he plays like it was another karate movie.
It might have wasn't it a reboot of Bloodsport?
Maybe.
Now that we talk about Bloodsport, wasn't it a reboot of Bloodsport?
Yeah, that's what I think it was. Oh man, that's horrible.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
The movie built it up like Batista was going to be so great. I mean, they built him up, and it was just.
He's a good actor, though.
But he's got some potential, man.
In those comic movies,
the Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's a better actor. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, he's a better actor in those. Like I actually like him in those.
Right. True that. All right. So. That was a very good conversation, guys. We got a little bit of one-on-one battle. We had a little bit of black topic conversation with superheroes. We had a little bit of best fight scenes. So you know what? I like this a lot. So here's what we're gonna do. I want you guys, and I just thought of this right now, so that's why I haven't sent it to you before. Next week, let's go ahead and. Let's do what is the best fight scene we've seen on TV.
Oh,
since we just did movies, let's do TV.
Hey, are we including ourselves with some Netflix?
Amazon? All streaming services is fine, as long as it's not a movie. It can be like a series. Yep, there's been some real good ones, and you already know how I feel about Daredevil season 1, so that's definitely going to be on my list.
Well, you all know how I feel about Punisher, but hey, also let's throw it out there to our listeners too. If y'all have a favorite movie, let us know what your favorite movie fight scene is too.
At me for Marvel vs. DC with the number 4. Go ahead, V's.
Let me go on record by saying next week I will dominate both of you guys. Best TV of all time. So I already have it in my head. I want to say it.
No, you're so confident. Go ahead, say it.
I'm gonna wait till
next week. All right. So you're going on record. You're going on record and saying right now that you're gonna dominate.
Dominate.
Oh man, hey.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'll wait.
Oh, so now you
Good.
now
Hey,
you teasing.
Please
Yeah.
wait.
And when y'all hear it, you guys are gonna be like mind blown because y'all are gonna be mad you didn't think of it.
Okay, please wait because I'm gonna have some time to think about this. I love it. Love it.
Hey, this is gonna
Love
be
it.
great. This is gonna be great. And if you guys have any topics you want us to discuss, always you can leave us at the Twitter again, need for Marvel vs. DC with the number 4. All right, let's get into our final blow. Actually, before we start our final blow, I want to make sure that the Defied Network knows all the shows on the Defied Network. I want to make sure that all of y'all know that here at Take a Knee, we're ready for whatever. Anything that comes our way, we're ready. So any type of battles, quiz shows, anything like that, when we come to play, we take home number 1. We're not here for participation trophies. We come for the gold.
And I decided I'm not going to wait till next week. I just want to end the speculation. I can't. It's oozing out of me, right?
All right, go ahead.
We're gonna go, and you guys, tweet us at the Twitter and let me know if I'm wrong. But Game of Thrones, Battle of the Bastards. Let's go.
Let's go.
Good.
Let's go.
Let me ask you a question, V's. Is that the best battle of Game of Thrones, or is that the most epic battle?
Most epic for sure, because they had the one where
because I agree it's the most epic, but is it the best?
Yeah, most epic. But it's the one that just Battle of the Bastards. All you gotta say to anybody is Battle of the Bastards. They're gonna be like Game of Thrones.
True that.
True that.
Wow.
So that's your pick.
That was my pick. Most epic Battle of the Bastards.
Well, most epic. That's fair. But I'm asking the best. I want the best. The best of the best of the best.
That's there.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's up there. It's up there. It's gonna be tough to beat.
It's gonna be hard to beat Battle of the Bastards.
It's gonna be tough to beat.
Hard.
But luckily we got a week, so and you can't change your answer. You are on record with this answer.
On record with this answer, Battle of the Bastards. I mean, there's been some other great fight scenes. Don't get me wrong, but Battle of the Bastards.
Wow. You want to talk about somebody who's confident? He laid his answer off a week in advance for us to study.
Man, come up with something better.
Oh man! Hey, look! Let me ask you a question, Marcus. What would you have done if I'd have said that first?
Oh, I would have cried because that's why I wanted to go ahead and get it out the way. I didn't want y'all to do it. I've watched that series probably 3 times already.
Oh
so
man!
let's go.
All right.
That's beautiful, man, Marcus. I almost forgot about the Battle of the Bastards. That's great.
Now the setup with when they set my man King of the North up. Oh,
Yeah.
That was dirty. Damn. All right.
You got any
Final
more?
blow.
You got any more revelations for us? Because I was ready to go into the final blow, and then you just had to burst over there.
Yeah, I just wanted to. No, I'm done with the first. I just wanted to
you wanted to make sure that you got that one first.
Yeah.
Okay, touche.
For sure.
Hey, I'm not mad because that's gonna be a really tough one to beat. Hey, look, and listeners out there, y'all go ahead and let us know what y'all think if y'all got one that could beat that too. All right. So final blow time. V's, what you got for the final blow?
No, I think I left it all on the line when I said Battle of the Bastards.
He left the final blow with that one.
That even for next week. So let's.
Hey, I'm going to make sure you don't win. Like, I'm going to find a fight scene that is better than that. I promise you. I don't know how or when. I'm going to be watching TV. I'm taking next week off. Oz, what you got for me, final blow?
As soon as we get off of this, I'm gonna start binge watching TV myself. That
was a really good pick, man.
You know what? I'll throw it out there. just to try and see if I can possibly beat. Let's see, best TV fight scene. T.J. Hooker. No, just kidding.
Yo, I couldn't. I was waiting to hear where you were going with it.
Ozzy,
Foggy versus Matt Murdock.
Right. A different world when nothing, dude. My final blow is Captain America elevators. Don't mess with them.
That's your final blow?
That's my final blow.
All right. That's cool. My final blow is Arrow is absolutely off the chain. I'm going to just go ahead and say that. See, episode 2 was great. This has been a great...
Dude, I take it back. I do have a final blow.
Go ahead.
All right, I apologize, everybody. My final blow is actually this. Man, I am all about some team.